Okay. So later in the episode, the actual end of the episode, you're going to hear us talk about how we need to get back on Discord. And I did.
Yes.
And what I
Hmm.
saw from Dear Sweet Kelly was someone talking shit in the comments of some
Beautiful shit
episodes,
talking.
like
Yeah.
beautiful, genuinely beautiful shit talking. And
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, like we never get fucking notified for
We,
this shit.
yeah.
We
We
never
don't
get.
get notifications if someone comments on our stuff unless we see screenshots that get sent to us.
Like because we use this software that's like puts this episode on
Yeah.
streaming
We
everywhere. So
use,
like
yeah.
it's a whole thing. Anyway, so I was like trying to figure out because the first hate comment this person sent was honestly beautiful, and I have no idea what they're talking about, which does suck. Julio R. They said, more than 10 minutes spent explaining to that dumb white American woman that the Bible is metaphorical and time slash age were measured differently. Dot dot dot. So sad. Really ruined the episode, and yet a true depiction of American culture at its finest. So, first of all, dumb white American woman. Yes, could be either of us. Number two, this is an
Most likely
international,
both of us.
most likely
Yeah.
both. Catch all. This seems like an international comment, which, first of all, we made it, Mom. We
Yeah.
we did it,
My
dude.
mom's dead, but I hope she's proud somewhere out
She
there.
is, dude. She heard. She
Yeah.
heard. And she said, thanks, Julio. Thank
Yeah.
you. And
Blessed on this day.
so I went to go try to find this manually, analog style, and I found Julio commenting on another episode, and I was like, oh, and it was and like this one was low key like, you guys need to look into Ghislaine Maxwell's father having connections to Israel. Also, some parts of this script were some parts of the script for this episode written by ChatGPT. Some stuff sure sounded very ChatGPT-ish. And Julio, let me tell you this. There was an era of this podcast recently where we were not popping our whole pussies, okay? And frankly, if I'm going to be honest with you, because I love you, capitalism stepped on our fucking throats and it sucked the joy out of everything. And we were not popping our whole pussies. Okay. There were some episodes we did pop our whole pussies on. The Dare episode was
Yeah.
cunty. The fucking AIDS epidemic was cunty. A lot of the historical shit, I was popping my
Hmm.
pussy and Chelsea was popping her pussy. But there was also some stuff that we just kind of like
Mediocre at best.
mediocre. And I actually went back and listened to it and I was like, this is shameful slop and we should fucking
Yeah.
get rid of it because it's not fun. And this all
Yeah.
actually happened kind of recently because everyone was talking about the had what is it? Hadrogen had help me, I'm having a stroke. The collider.
CERN. Yeah.
CERN. Everyone was talking about CERN. And so I went back to one of our old episodes because we write a script for every episode and I was reading through it and I was like, this pops its pussy. And so I told
Yeah.
Chelsea, I was like, we have to go back to popping our pussy. And we have been. These like last two episodes, especially, we've been
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
the mines.
CERN
Um,
got up. Our mojo came back.
yeah, yeah. Everyone started the populace started locking into CERN and we got back into the swing of
Yeah.
things, being like, we're not going to do half-assed episodes.
Feel
We
rejuvenated and hydrated.
we do. And so both of your comments, and there's probably more, which I'll have to find by manually going through it, made us laugh, and we love them, and like I just it's so fun. I absolutely love
Yeah.
someone with such range and multitudes to
Yeah.
say like these dumb fucking white American bitches and then also like, hey, you guys should look into this. I love that because people
Reading us for
are
filth while also giving us our accolades that we will look into something.
like
Thank you.
it is so fun. I love it. I love multitudes. So Julio R, if you're listening
Yeah,
to this,
we don't want to blow up your full name.
if you're listening to this, which I fucking pray to the old gods and knew you are,
Hmm.
DM the podcast at Go to Hell podcast, right? That's the Instagram. Now I'm blanking because whatever. It's like
Please
at
email us. Please either get our Instagram, which is Go to Hell Podcast. I'm also gonna put it in the top of the show notes. Julio R. please email us at Chelsea and Noel go to hell at gmail.com. We want to send you merch.
Yeah,
You
let
pick
us
out
know.
whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Let us know your
Yeah.
sizes and what you want, and we'll send it to you. We're doing international shipping because I'm believing that you're international.
Yeah. If you're international and we can't send it internationally, I'm going to send it to my house and then I will USPS it to you because you really made our day.
You really did.
If you're, yeah, if you're uncomfortable with sharing your address, that's totally fine. You let us know if we'll send you a virtual gift card to whatever your choice is. Just let us know your email. Really love it. So
Yeah,
good.
love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I just truly think you're the best. So we're putting this at the top of the episode
Yep.
in hopes that you hear it and see it.
Yeah. Sorry it took us so long. Public
Sorry,
school
months,
in
dude,
the United States. Yeah.
months, dude. So, keep it coming, honestly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kelly for flagging it to us and being like,
Yeah.
LOL, because what a gift it was to see.
Yeah.
And never stop being yourself, okay? I
Never.
frankly I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I think it's refreshing and beautiful. So, thanks for calling us out on our shit that we're just, like dumb American white girls. Like we fucking know, dude, and we're trying so hard. We're trying so fucking hard every day to be better than that, but it's tough because at the end of the day, we are dumb white American girls. And like
Yep.
that's fucking, that's like a global
Yeah.
disability if you think about it. So,
Yeah.
um, thank you so much for the read. Love you. Hopefully we see you in the DM soon.
Please,
Okay.
Julio.
Please.
You made our day, and we're being so genuinely
I
authentic
genuinely like
here.
you genuinely really did make my day. I loved it. So
Like, who knew I'm the white girl? No else?
yeah,
Girls.
really. I said, dude, we fucking made it. And
We made it.
I don't even think you realize that like in one comment shit talking us and then the second being like, hey you guys, what the fuck? Also look into this. I think that is so cunty, genuinely. I
Yeah.
love, 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 love that. So thanks for keeping us honest.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you soon.
We will be putting this at the top of the episode. Julio, thank you so much. I hope you hear this. Commented it on our Spotify.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
Love.
Julio, we know who it is, so don't be a fucker. We only want the real Julio
Yeah,
to
only the
contact us.
real Julio can contact us. I actually think we can reply to the comment as well, so I'll do that too.
Oh, okay. We'll try it.
Okay,
We'll try it.
back to the main episode. Bye.
Bye.
Ross also said that both the Air Force and the Navy deny that such objects exist.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? My name is Noelle, and I am going to spend tomorrow after work at this beautiful establishment called Media Love Shop in Salt Lake.
Is that blockbuster looking shop you've been posting lately?
Yes, so he's actually in the warehouse that the Derby Depot used to be in on the other side. But
Oh.
yeah, like the side that faces the street.
Yeah, they don't
And
have the Derby Depot anymore.
I
They got
know.
kicked out. So I wonder if they'll move into that old space.
Well,
But anyway, keep going.
so he has like this space and it's like a DIY blockbuster, and then the front is just all these DVDs. And he buys pallets, and so he charges like $1. Everything's like $1. And he'll even
Dude,
do
good for
sales,
him.
like 50
Like a
cents,
modern
whatever.
day Robin Hood.
No, straight up, it's beautiful. I love it. But he's going on vacation and then he's moving locations. Like, I don't know where he's moving to. So tomorrow and this weekend are like his last days there before they move somewhere else. And I'm just like, of
Oh.
course, like he's going to be moving right as soon as I find him. And sometimes like he has absolute bangers, dude. Like he doesn't respond to DMs though, because I did message him because he'll post like sneak previews of what's coming out the next day because he's
And
getting.
you're like, I'll pay double.
I
And he
literally
just
said I'll pay
leaves it
double.
unread.
I'll pay like he had this Giallo collector's edition, so like all of the like the Giallo horror of like the 60s
Hmm.
and in
I
like a
don't know what
box,
that is.
the Italian horror.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I was like, please, I'm out of the state. please, 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 please. He never responded. And I know that someone went in and got it. I know that they did. I know they paid
You should
$2
have.
for it.
Why didn't you send Mitchell to go get it for you?
Because here's the thing. He doesn't he just puts shit out there, and sometimes he'll even purposefully hide, like he'll be like, and look at this Criterion collection of fucking Twin Peaks, and then he'll go put it randomly in, like, it's all, nothing is really organized,
Damn.
so it's like
Yeah,
resellers can't come in there and fuck shit up, but that means you have to, like, when we went there, I was on my hands and knees crawling around that bitch like a fucking
dude.
spider, dude.
Yeah.
So
Well,
but I'm gonna, and the thing is, you say, oh, my budget is $20. He'll probably do a sale and that'll be 40 DVDs. I swear to God. I
that's so
swear.
crazy. Dude, good for him. Hopefully he stays within the area. I know he said he's moving, but
Yeah. Fingers crossed. But anyway, love his shit. Check him out.
well,
Also his like mascot is a little like husky plushie for whatever reason. He also was an absolute sweetheart when we went there with my friend's daughter, and he gave her a bunch of shit for free. And I was like, that's so fucking
oh, that's so
sick.
sweet. I
So,
want to go. I don't have anything going on tomorrow.
dude, come up.
Okay. What
But
time are
anyway,
you going to go at? Where are you going to be tomorrow? At what time? What location? What
well,
address?
your
Just text me
husband,
after.
your husband's going to go golf with Ty, so
Yeah, I know. He just got brand new golf clubs, like literally brand new. They delivered today. So,
well, Ty just got him a brand new golf bag too, an expensive brand. What is
oh
it
my
called? Like
gosh.
Trillist or something like that?
You could put a
Mm.
gun to my head and I wouldn't be able to tell you a single thing
Yeah, I
about
don't
a
know.
golf brand. I only
I
know
don't know.
Callaway
Hmm.
because I saw a Callaway shirt thrifting and I Googled if charging $30 for it was a good price or not, and it wasn't. And I was
It's
like,
not,
fuck
no.
you, Callaway.
Yeah,
Or it's
it's
Callaway. It doesn't matter.
Callaway. I don't know. I
And
don't
I'm
know.
Chelsea, still not a fan of playing golf, so I don't do it.
Yeah, it's I have to support hobbies. Um,
I support hobbies by letting him
do
go
his
as often as he
yeah,
wants.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And I don't text him a thing while he's there.
yeah, same. I'm like, have fun. See you on the other side. I will say though,
He
I
just sent me a
love
text and said, stop making fun of him. So,
they're
to which I
sensitive.
say,
They're
I'm
sensitive.
Chelsea and I'll die first.
Dude, I will say though, golf is fun with the girly pops because like when you golf with the girly pops, everyone's dressing cunty and no one's keeping score and everyone is just absolutely hammering that fucking ball and no one cares about
Yeah.
form and no one cares where it goes. And sometimes you lose it and you just let it go. And then sometimes you just take the golf cart up to the ball, pick it up with your hands and drive to where you want to go next. Like, and I think that's really the way golf should be played.
Yeah. As soon as I find an Arnold Palmer looking outfit, like knickerbockers and
Mhm.
the hat to go with it, I may come.
Dude, I put
But
on a
even then,
silk scarf around my head and like tie it under my chin.
hmm
I'm rocking
yeah.
country club fantasy.
Yeah. I'm
And
renting a poodle and I'm going to be annoying with it all
yeah,
over the course. And I'll
and
be like,
I have
Jimbo.
the worst swing in the world, but I
If
dress
we go
like
golfing, I'm not bringing golf clubs.
yeah,
I'm bringing a bitch stick to hold my cigarette, a fur
yeah,
coat, and a single martini glass
and that's how it
filled with
should be.
nothing but olives.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly how it should be.
So,
But anywho's,
right. Damn it, Noelle, I have a serious question for you.
yeah, I have an unfortunate answer.
I know. Have you, or how do you feel about classic blockbuster film, The Man in the Iron Mask, starring a young Leonardo DiCaprio?
I genuinely had no idea what you're talking about, and I didn't even know The Man in the Iron Mask was a movie, let alone having Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Okay. Well, fuck you for that. That's crazy. You need to watch it.
You've watched it?
I was live and saw it in theater.
You're lying to me. I forget you're so fucking old. Did you really see it in theaters?
Old as fuck. My sisters took me to go see it.
Bro, are you
It came out in like
you really did?
1990. Yeah. When did Man in the Iron
You saw it in
Mask
theaters?
come
Dude,
out? Dude, it only wait. That was a different one. Man, 1998. I was 10.
bro.
Yeah, my older sisters took me. My mom used to drop us off at the theater with 25 cents so that we could use the payphone to call her when it was time to pick us up. And then we would just go hang out in the arcade. But we had to watch for her because if you weren't watching for her, she'd get pissed. Because she's not coming in the fucking theater. She's rolling up and then you get the fuck out there.
Did your mom honk? Did she just sit outside and honk when she was like there to pick you up?
Not at the movie theater because we wouldn't have heard her.
Mm.
So we had to like have a spotter because if she waited 5 minutes and had to come in, everyone's night was ruined. But anyway, this has literally nothing to do with
Good.
anything we're talking
Yeah,
about. So I'm going to
perfect.
ask for you to stop fucking going off topic.
No, impossible.
Because we're talking about Vintém Hill, Vintém,
Oh,
or so this is Portuguese. I'm doing my fucking best,
sure.
everybody.
Mhm.
So Vintém Hill or Morro de
It has a
Vintém.
G on it, dude. Vintém.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like, but it's Vintém, and I think it's like Vintém. Like I think it's a glottal stop. Vintém.
And
It's
frankly, we'll
I
never
don't know.
know.
We'll never know. Rises out of Niederoy, and it's the kind of place a city keeps half hidden from itself. Just across from it is Guanabara Bay. From Rio de Janeiro, I can say
Got that
that.
one.
But Niederoy is all coastal light. You know what? Ichabod, friend of the podcast, speaks fluent Portuguese. I could have easily asked him, but nope, we're too far in now. It's all coastal light, steep green hills, ocean air, crowded neighborhoods, and impossible views. It's the kind of landscape that can look heavenly at sunset and hostile after dark. From the higher points around the city, the bays open wide, Rio glitters in the distance, and the mountains stack up like silhouettes. And Vintém Hill itself sits in a city known for beauty, architecture, and sweeping views. But in Brazilian mystery lore, it has become something closer to a threshold, a place where science, spiritualism, UFO beliefs, and death all overlap. Even Niederoy's later skyline seems to lean into the weirdness, with Oscar Niemeyer's saucer-like museum of contemporary art hovering over the bay like a polished, modern echo of the very myths people attach to the city. But Vintém Hill Horrors is a little bit quieter than a flying saucer and carries a very different reputation. It's not remembered for its beaches or postcard views. It is remembered as the hill where two men climbed towards a legacy that seemed more rooted in a horror story than in real life. So in the late 1960s, Niterói was still the capital of the old state of Rio de Janeiro, while the city of Rio sat across the bay and was tied to the separate state of Guanabara. That means that Niterói had government buildings, civic life, commuters, ferries, newspapers, workers' beaches, and dense neighborhoods, but also had the rougher hillside areas and patches of brushy, less developed terrain close to urban life. It was the place where you could move quickly from city streets and ferry crowds to dark, grassy hillsides. It's like the drive from Salt Lake City to Jordanelle Reservoir. May it rest in peace during the fire season.
Yeah, pour one out.
A big part of daily life was the Rio Niterói ferry crossing. And while the bridge that would eventually close this gap was still in construction and not to be finished until 1974, this meant that a big part of people's daily work lives consisted of lining up at terminals, ferries were moving throughout the bay, traffic pressure was building, and the city was just sitting on the edge of a major infrastructure change. And the ferry system had a reputation of its own. In 1959, Niterói had seen the Revolta de Barcas, a violent uprising over poor ferry service, fare issues, and labor disruption. The Biblioteca Nacional's summary notes that the sudden maritime workers' strike and the precarious service that helped spark the revolt. Volt. Hold on, let me have some wine. I'm fading fast. These
Dude,
headphones are squeezing my head already.
remember a time when we used to revolt over unfair
I was literally,
prices?
dude, we watched our government gun men down in the streets and shoot a woman in the fucking head on live TV, and we didn't. We maybe went and bought poster board at Walmart to protest, but then the
Maybe.
heat waves kept us inside.
Yep.
So by the late 60s, Niterói was not just a sleepy coastal city. It had a recent history of public frustration, overcrowded transport, and explosive civic anger. And in the late 1960s, Vintém Hill sat on the edge of a changing Niterói, a ferry-bound capital city of government offices, crowded crossings, beach neighborhoods, construction plans, and steep green hillsides. And it was not the middle of nowhere. It was worse in a way. It was the kind of place where the lights of Rio could still glitter across the bay while the grass around you went black, where the modern city was close enough to hear, but not close enough to help. So when on August 17th in the summer of 1966, a teenage boy spotted two men sitting upright in a clearing on the hill. He didn't think too much of it. But the next day in the same spot, he saw him laying down. Now, although it wasn't Pride Month, he was still an ally and decided to leave them be. But on the third day, when the men were still in the same spot, he couldn't convince himself that they were just sleeping this time. So he found his way over to them to take a closer look. And as we can all probably guess, the two men were dead.
Yeah, they're never
By the
sleeping.
time the police, it's never a mannequin and they're never just sleeping.
Yep.
So by the time the police tried to reach the scene, they reportedly knew it too. Not because they could see the bodies clearly, but because the hillside already smelled like death.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever smelled like a rotting body?
No, because I never smell anything ever.
I wonder if you could. I wonder if the smell of decay could make it past your nostrils.
When I was in school, I did get to go to a morgue.
That doesn't
Like
count. They don't smell
it
there.
didn't, yeah, I didn't smell anything. And it was
You
like
smell formaldehyde, if anything.
yeah, it didn't smell like anything. And it was one of those medical study things where like people are like cut up so that they can like study the anatomy of them or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're so pumped full of chemicals, you're not smelling
Mhm.
shit. Okay. Well,
Did you smell the hobo that you ran down in your car that one time?
you bet I did.
So anyway, may he rest in peace.
Unfortunately, he's still alive.
Yeah, he ran off after weeks in the hospital.
Yeah, after bleeding me fucking dry and having an entire police force harass me every day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, so have you ever smelled a dead body?
I haven't smelled a dead body, but I've smelled like dead animals in active decay,
Oh,
which is like a similar smell.
I don't think I've smelled it, honestly. I couldn't tell you.
The thing is, like, it's smelling death, like rotting death, is similar to like the uncanny valley. It's like your brain knows, even if you haven't, it just like
It's super
genetically
interesting.
knows that it like
Yeah.
that's what you're smelling. It's even if you've never smelled it before, the moment
Yeah,
you
the
smell it,
lizard
go,
brain takes
yeah,
over and
it
is like,
does.
this is bad.
Yeah.
Well, normally two dead men wouldn't be real cause for alarm, and some may say it could even be cause for celebration. But
After the Patreon episode, that goes a little
yeah, I know.
crazy.
But when they were discovered, it was apparent that there was going to be a big mystery on the police's hands. The men were not only fully clothed, in fact, they were wearing formal suits, raincoats, and lead masks shaped like hand-cut welding goggles over their eyes. Now, 3 days in the winter, yes, August is winter in Brazil, of 1966, before we really started to cook with global warming, this time of year still wasn't really enough to kill two grown men by exposure, especially since the area was so open and the city was still easy enough to access if shit really hit the fan. In fact, the average temperature for that area in that time was anywhere from 68 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. The police, suspicious of the events that transpired between the 17th and the 20th, decided to take an even closer look.
And this is how you know it's not taking place in the United States because the police are investigating.
Exactly, yeah. The two men were 32-year-old Manuel Pereira de Cruz and 43-year-old Jose Fiana, electricians who were well liked and respected in their shared community of Campos de Goitacazes, which was approximately a 3-ish hour drive from the area that they were found. They were not local wanderers, they were not known criminals. In fact, they were just regular men with families, jobs, and reputations as capable, intelligent people. They made their living doing small technical repairs for their community, such as fixing televisions, and kept a good and honest reputation amongst their peers. And they were pretty spiritual, which I don't think is that crazy, considering Noelle and I lined our pockets with rocks when we went on a ghost hunt.
True.
Uh, so when they told their families that they were going to be heading out to Sao Paulo to buy some working equipment, no one really paid attention to the fact that they instead hopped on a bus to Niterói, never to be seen alive by their loved ones again. Now, their bodies didn't show any signs of struggle, and it didn't appear that they had crossed over by nefarious means. Their wallets were still flush with cash. They had no known enemies, and they still even had receipts for a recent shared purchase of matching raincoats and a single bottle of water. To add to the mystery, there were also several notes with the bodies, reading 1630, be at the agreed place, 1830, ingest capsules, after effect, protect metals, wait for mask signal. And another said, Sunday, 1 pill after meal. Monday, 1 pill after breakfast. Tuesday, 1 pill after meal. Wednesday, 1 pill lying down.
What if these were two secret lovers, two paramours,
Yeah.
and they were just going to the underground rave scene, which is why they were wearing weird outfits and
A
weird,
full suit,
yeah,
a full teeth,
yeah,
and a
but like
raincoat.
a suit with a raincoat and handmade lead goggles is giving Burning Man, if you actually think about it. And then they're like taking pills and partying, and like it's probably like this is the pickup spot. It feels very much like they're just like gay wooks.
I think you're thinking too small.
I think you're thinking too small.
Joke's on you. I'm barely thinking at all. Now, as much as I would love to tell you that we know exactly what those notes mean and why they were created, I cannot. As Naomi Smalls said, life's not fair. In fact, at this point in the investigation, the only thing the police and coroner could conclude is that the men died in a really mundane way of having heart attacks at basically the exact same time. Now, when I Googled that possibility, Google AI said, calculating the exact mathematical odds is nearly impossible, but for two average unrelated individuals, the probability of having a heart attack in the exact same second is roughly 1 in 182 sextillion. And I don't know what a sextillion is, but that number sounds like it's for perverts.
It is.
Moving on. The autopsies showed that not much else other than the simultaneous heart attacks attributed to their death. Now, the bodies had already been pretty damaged by rainfall, exposure, and decomposition. So the coroner, who already had a pretty large backlog of other bodies, really only had time to do a cursory and mundane examination. He was able to determine that the cause of death was undetermined, which obviously is the opposite of helpful. But I mean, what could he even look for? There were no signs of poison, injury, weapons, or anything else for him to check. The bodies were on a wet and humid hillside for a few days and were in a state of putrefaction. We have ourselves talked about people being suicided before, and in those cases, the signs of outside meddling are obvious. People who commit suicide with their hands tied behind their backs, for example.
People who
shot themselves in the back of the head 3 times.
People who commit suicide in a room that has 24-hour video surveillance, but then there is a 30-minute time frame that's been removed from the video surveillance, and then they're dead after it.
Exactly. But in this case, it seems that the ultimate conclusion that medical science could only find that they simply dropped dead. The lead masks themselves also added more questions than answers. It appeared that they had already begun to oxidize, meaning that they had likely been made days, if not weeks, before the bodies were found. Now, masks of this type would generally suggest that the men were expecting to encounter anything from radiation to a really bright light, but ultimately, we can't guess what they were expecting to encounter from their place of death alone. So, the only way to really move forward for the police was to establish a timeline of Manuel and Jose's movements leading up to their strange deaths. Now, remember, they originally told their families that they were going to Sao Paulo, they were going to purchase electronic equipment and maybe even a new car. They were carrying roughly $4,000 when they left, but only a small portion of it was recovered with the bodies. Now, it did appear that the men arrived in the city and then they were also caught off guard by the rain, so they bought raincoats. We know this because the weather reports and of the recovered receipts for the raincoats proving that they purchased them. Later in the day, the men also picked up 2 waters, keeping the receipts so that they could return the empty bottles later for a refund. The woman who could you imagine
What?
that? You're only paying for the bottle, you're not paying for the water, and then you get your money back when you return the bottle.
What the fuck?
Couldn't be us in the good old US of A.
No, we gotta pay for our fucking water.
Uh-huh. And the woman who helped the 2 men with their purchases noted that they were acting very shifty and strange, stating that her impression was that they were in a hurry for something. Now, although most of their money was missing when they were recovered, police were not able to find any other purchases the men had made that day, leading them to believe that the lack of resources likely meant that the men never intended to die on their hill. Speaking of hills, on the day of August 17th, locals in the area reported seeing strange orange and blue lights hovering over the hill where the men were subsequently located. Some even claimed to have heard loud explosions.
I just want to say, isn't it a little ironic that like
Yes, I really do think.
it's like rain
Mhm.
on your wedding day, but
Yeah.
that these men, quote unquote, died on this hill.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Interesting. Finally, a hill that they'll literally die on.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Anyway,
So, according to UFO Insight, one investigator named Charles Bowen stated that an explosion may actually be what led these men to the hill in the first place. You see, in Manuel and Jose's hometown of Atafona, a few weeks before their deaths, there was another alleged incident in the sky on June 13th. Fishermen claimed to have seen something crash into the sea. Others said there was a fireball moving through the sky, and most within miles of town said they heard and felt an explosion. And the witnesses to this strange event, you guessed it, Jose and Manuel themselves. Even more strange and balanced discoveries were that it didn't seem like these 2 men were the first to fall into something of this caliber. In fact, there was another TV repairman named Moro de Cruzeiro who died only 4 years earlier in the exact same way and was also wearing a lead mask on his face.
hmm.
Now, this was another case where the dead man's friends and family also described him as being well liked and rather spiritual. But when his death was compared to Manuel and Miguel's, a slightly newer phrase entered the chat, and that was scientific spiritualism. And yes, that does sound like something made up by a man with a Maxim subscription who also owns crystals and for some reason a soldering iron. But really, it is more like asking, what if things we think of as religion are actually just science we haven't explained yet? So let's take religion, science fiction, and a little bit of UFO lore, marry the 3 together in some haunted little courthouse ceremony, and ask ourselves, what is something so bright, so powerful, so potentially radioactive that our regular human eyeballs would not be strong enough to perceive it without the assistance of lead? So science would say aliens, religion would say God, and scientific spiritualism would say, why not both, babe? And that brings us back to the capsules. Because under this theory, the pills were not necessarily meant to be poison. They may have been part of a ritual, something taken to alter perception, expand the mind, open the spiritual Wi-Fi, whatever you want to call it. But basically, the idea was that maybe you could just not walk up a hill and look directly at an alien or an angel or God's LED high beams with your normal, stupid, sober eyes, Noelle.
Hmm.
You had to be at the exact location at the exact right time with the exact right suit and the exact followed protocol in order to see something that is ultimately bigger than anything any of us could ever care to know or even fathom. Because you see, there was that these men were not just casually spiritual, but they could have also been actively trying to merge their spiritual world with the physical one. And this is where Manuel and Jose being electricians takes on a little bit more interest because these weren't just 2 men floating around in the spiritual space. They worked in signals, they worked in frequencies, they made dead machines speak again. So if you already believe that the invisible world is real, and you know that radios can pull voices out of thin air, that televisions can turn invisible waves into images, suddenly using simple tech to talk to aliens or spirits doesn't seem so insane. I mean, you and I have literally done it with the spirit box. And in this specific case, the equipment also just happened to include formal suits, homemade lead eye masks, and some mystery capsules.
You know, I will say, when you like speak out loud how like radio waves work, it is a little fucking spooky.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it
weird,
really
right?
is. Like even like Wi-Fi, like
Hmm.
what the fuck do you mean? There's like invisible waves of energy flowing all around us, and that's how things like internet and
Yeah.
radio and TV, broadcast and all that like flows through space and time, and what the fuck is Bluetooth, you know? It's like when you really think about
Magnets,
it,
man.
you're like,
Yeah.
what do they do? You're like, what the this is actually very spooky. This is actually very fucking spooky and weird. And
Well,
I feel bad sometimes to be like, all these wackadoodles being like, oh, my third eye is calcified and I can't pick up these waves of purified energy, or like I'm not on the right vibrational paths. And you go cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs, right? But then you're like, we are walking through waves of energy that actually travel, like have media traveling on them invisibly, like around us all the time.
yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah, literally. I think it was like Lucille Ball said she could hear radio waves sometimes when she drove past a certain area
Yes.
on the highway.
Yeah.
And if you said I'm hearing voices, category A is going to say one thing and category B is going to say
Hmm.
another. We've done episodes about saints who have been visited by an angel, but then when you dissect it a little deeper, it sounds like they were abducted by a fucking alien.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, I think the scientific spiritualism is so fucking fun. It reminds me of the movie White Noise, where like you're literally just tuning the radio until you pick up the
Yeah.
right spiritual frequency.
Yeah, man. I mean, you do in a non-haunted sense. Who's to say you can't do it in a haunted sense?
Literally. And now let's look at actually, you know what the same thing is like when I know a text message is coming in because my spidey sense goes up and then my phone's like bloop, bloop with the text. Does that ever happen to you?
That does not happen to me, but
Mm.
it
Your third eye is calcified.
it's
That's
yeah,
why.
it's because my third eye is calcified. I will also say, like, obvious, the biggest like spooky, scary, haunted science is like radiation. And that's another
Yeah.
thing that's like totally invisible and is just like traveling at us. Like, and
Right?
and we know motherfuckers get close to Chernobyl and melt. We know when you go
Yeah.
get your like broken ankle x-rayed, the tech runs out of the room with her lead
Yeah.
vest on, like
Yep.
you're and leaves your ass in there. Like, some shit you can't see is coming at you.
Dude, it's like the metals in the dried up Great Salt Lake. We're
Yeah, man.
we're gonna be just salted and cooked,
The
ripe for the
particles
plucking.
are out there. It's so funny though that we just like you never take a beat to be like, well, this like because the radio is even outdated, right? So like when you turn your car
Yeah.
on and your Apple CarPlay hasn't connected yet, you hear the godforsaken radio, and you're like, ugh, and you turn down the volume. That's
Hmm.
invisible fucking waves coming at you, playing
Yeah.
fucking
Or like
Imagine
if you're listening to
Dragons.
the radio and you take a turn and like the waves don't hit the car right, so it's like before it
Yeah,
comes back in. Yeah, and
yeah,
we're just taking it.
and we're just like,
We just
ugh,
fucking take
ugh,
it.
this fucking annoying ass shit. Meanwhile, it's spooky, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just like
Yeah.
freaks me out when you think about it a little bit. Maybe that's why we don't think about it. It's a little freaky.
No, I can't think too much or I'll upset myself. So let's look at the note, which some wanted to say was a suicide note. But to me, they read more like instructions that are to be followed, like a procedure, if you will. One, be at the agreed place. Two, ingest capsules. Three, protect metals. And lastly, wait for mask signal. Now, the part that gets lost in the sauce the most is that the strangeness of how the men appeared often overtakes what we know actually happened. And that is that two men carefully and calmly walked up the hill in whole ass suits because they thought something or someone was going to meet them there. So, Noelle, who met them there? Well, it's South America in the 60s, maybe a little LSD. Sounds like a job for the CIA.
Yeah, it sounds like good old Americana.
Num, 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 num. So, years, hold on. Years about the lead mask case. See, this is what happens when we don't. Years after the lead masks case. There we go. Years after the lead masks case during the church committee hearings of the 1970s, the American public learned that the CIA had been playing around with exactly the kind of nightmare technology that makes this shit so zesty. One of the most famous examples of this tech was the so-called heart attack gun,
I'd kill Stanley Kubrick.
which killed Stanley Kubrick by firing a tiny toxin tipped dart so smart and subtle that the person hit may not even realize what happened. Now, for anyone saying, ladies, a heart attack gun, please put down the corkboard and the red yarn. I say, no, corkboard stays up because the heart attack gun isn't something just made up by the internet. It was discovered by those Senate hearings where we basically took a hard look at all three lettered government organizations and asked, what the fuck have you been doing?
Also, go listen to our fucking Stanley Kubrick episode if you don't want to
Please.
believe in the fucking heart attack gun, bitch. Okay, wake the fuck up.
Please.
Okay, wake up.
Please wake the fuck up. You've been asleep. Because when you ask the American government what the fuck they've been doing, they're going to say, we've been doing everything. If you ask Trump, he'll say, even the children. Is that too much? From spying on Americans, secret assassination plots, drug experiments on people who didn't consent, basically anything that we could do to get an edge during the Cold War. And yes, the infamous heart attack gun was a part of all of that. So what happened here really? Well, we just don't know, Noelle, and that's what's so crazy. I think that the two men climbed the hill that day and they were ready to meet whatever was going to be waiting for them. And unfortunately for Manuel and Jose, I personally think the CIA got to them first. And really, we have no answers beyond that because even with the case being revisited countless times over the years, it seems like just another bona fide cover up for the old US of A. So, Noel, one final question. If someone gives you mystery capsules, a homemade lead mask, and a handwritten schedule for meeting either aliens, God, or the CIA on a hill, are you going? Or are you going to be a fucking coward who stays home to watch nothing but Leonardo DiCaprio movies, apparently for the first time? I think we all know the correct answer.
Yeah, so okay. Let me chew on this for a second. So we know that the CIA was practicing slash making targets of civilians, unsuspecting civilians, especially in South America, to test
Mhm.
anything and everything on before they then brought it back to the old US of A and did it to our own citizens in like a secondary beta versus
Yeah.
alpha trial. Um, I agree with that. We know that to be true. And
Yes.
so
Literally true.
literally true in the court, whatever the fucking findings were called. Um so
The church committee.
the church committee. The ideology here is that like the CIA was fucking around with speaking through radio waves because the big thing the CIA was trying to do was like telepathy experiments and mind control experiments and like a lot of people think like the Son of Sam type shit was the CIA fucking around with like the radio waves.
Charlie Manson.
Yeah, Charlie Manson,
Literally
obviously.
CIA.
Charlie Manson has a lot of connections to the CIA again with
MK
like
Ultra type shit.
yeah, with like that type of experimentation. So like that's the thing is that like the CIA was just fucking with some random citizens and these guys were easy targets because they already worked in and around like electrical fields of current
Yeah.
which were more susceptible to the CIA's like fuck around and find out programs where they were trying to fucking put hidden messages through the radio waves and talk to people telepathically or make fucking brainwash them into thinking the TV's telling them to like take over the government.
Yeah.
And instead of making them like sleeper cells, it made them think that they were speaking to God and or an alien and or some sort of higher being, they would go to this location where they were told by what they thought was God or a higher being, but actually was a CIA agent in fucking Quantico, New Jersey. And then they tested the heart attack gun on them. They would later use to kill Stanley Kubrick because he was outing the pedophile billionaire elite that run the
And
government
also that
in,
the moon landing was fake. Yeah.
yeah, in Eyes Wide Shut.
I think it's obvious. That's exactly what fucking happened.
I frankly, the facts are there. I
Because 1, 2, 3.
and and many are saying this. Yeah, you know
The
what,
CIA hates when you know this one simple trick.
dude?
That's
Fucking
okay.
yeah, man.
Yeah, the two wolves inside of me.
Mhm,
Either the CIA fucking did it,
sure.
or
Gay
these dudes
after
made
party.
contact. Well, or these dudes made contact with a bona fide fucking something and it hooked their asses
Yeah, three
and they
options.
died of heart attacks.
Three options there. It's the
Yeah.
CIA,
Or a beautiful love story.
like yeah, like after party in Ibiza,
Yeah.
or
Yep.
they actually made contact with something, and all
Yeah.
options seem like they could be equally like the reason, the
Yeah.
truth.
Well, I mean,
Hmm.
the gay after party thing is nothing but a salacious rumor started by you just now. But you know what? Why
No,
not?
no. Look closer. Uncalcify your third eye, and you'll
anyone
see.
wearing anyone wearing a full three-piece suit in Rio de Janeiro is fucking suspicious. And I
Dude,
said what I said.
no way, man. That's some fucking Burning Man shit, dude. The fucking looking like Tank Girl out here. Like, come
In a
on.
three-piece suit?
Three-piece suit
Crazy.
with like a PVC see-through rain
Actually,
jacket
yeah, that's
and
just
goggles, bitch. Give me a break. That's Burning
yeah.
Man. That's
Yeah,
Burning
that's just
Man.
that's like any that's like I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know
That's no,
anything about culture.
that's a German at fucking Burning Man,
Yeah,
dude. That's what that
actually, yeah,
is.
that's a techno Viking.
Yes,
I'm
dude.
like,
That's what I'm fucking
well,
saying,
then he
man.
just nobody knows where that guy went, by the way. He probably got too. First
Un
first Stanley
Unfortunately,
Kubrick and now the techno
the
Viking.
techno Viking, dude. They got
Internet
them
hero.
all. They got them all.
So,
Oh man. I've said this before, I think on Patreon as well. It took some fucking government documents coming out again, being like, the rich are fucking eating babies. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, you guys, I think Stanley Kubrick was killed by the CIA. And then I'm like, we've been fucking saying this, bitch. We've
new
been fucking
merch.
saying this.
The US government killed Stanley Kubrick.
They did. They fucking did. They go look at the fucking moon landing footage. That shit is so chopped and unk. It is so fucking bad. There is a fifth grader in Mobile, Alabama, who can put together a better fucking reel of a
Yeah.
moon landing than
And
whatever
that yeah,
bullshit
that
they
fifth
tried to
grader was
sell us.
Froggy Fresh and he already did it.
Like, straight the fuck up, dude. And then fucking Stanley Kubrick's like, and guess what else I saw? The rich eating babies and shit. And then he fucking makes Eyes Wide Shut, and they're like, too close to the fire, bitch. Now we've got to hit you
Yep.
with a fucking heart attack gun.
Yep.
Mister, like, I wear a fucking helmet when I drive in cars because I'm so afraid of dying. Give me a break. It's like
Yeah.
they're so obvious sometimes, but who are, we're just a population of not giving a fuck anymore.
No. And it's really hard to bear the burden of being the only truth tellers on the internet, but I think you and I are doing it with grace.
Dude, I know, man.
Not
It's
beauty on my end, so much with the thumb head,
dude,
but doing my best.
your thumb head's disappearing by the grace of medical science.
Yeah, I've got a jawline back. Thank you for internet paid for Botox to help with my migraines.
Dude, I've got to get my TMJ
Look at
Botox
this.
again.
You see that? No,
Yeah,
you
that bitch
fucking
isn't
don't,
moving.
because
That bitch
that
isn't
is
moving. I
full
got
of
I got
Botox.
my shit fucking frozen too. It's so sick. I love
So
it.
crazy. They
Love
do
it.
a full halo around my head.
Hmm.
So like back of my head doesn't have wrinkles either. Bitch.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
This might be TMI and probably should be something for Patreon. I'll try to do it PG-13 style. I always know when I need to like re-up on my TMJ Botox because when trying to perform something with my partner, it starts to
Yeah.
hurt. And
Pops up. That's why they call it a job. I'm not editing that out because when you message me, you only get 2 a year and you already made me edit out some really terrible stuff. So we're letting that be live.
That's fine. I said it PG-13, and at the end of the day, it's a truth. And at the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's nice.
If that offends you and the heart attack gun killing Stanley Kubrick doesn't reprioritize, okay?
Yeah,
Check your
go,
privilege.
yeah. Check your privilege, dude. Check your fucking privilege. If this flag offends you and it's a flag of Stanley Kubrick being killed with the
Yeah.
heart attack gun,
Yeah.
pack it up.
These colors don't run, and it's just Stanley Kubrick's mutilated corpse.
Oh my fucking God. Anyway.
Ugh.
Anyway, rest in peace to these two guys who were for sure killed by
Yeah.
the CIA.
Sorry, you're not the first and you're not the last.
And you won't be the fucking last, dude. They're getting us all. But you want to know what's also crazy? I just don't think the CIA's popping their whole pussy anymore because like motherfuckers can just be out here doing it. Like the CIA doesn't pop its
Yeah.
pussy anymore because like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are doing it themselves. Like they don't have to hide behind the
yeah.
CIA.
CIA was like porn behind a firewall and like a pay-per-view, whereas like now that shit's just free a Google search away.
Yeah.
So
you can just be rich
sorry.
enough and just shoot shit into
Yeah.
the sky and be like, fucking blow it up, blow
Yeah.
up the moon. Like it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to like hide behind NASA or the CIA or the FBI or the NSA. You really, because like you can just be Pokemon Go on someone's phone, and that's you, the government making maps,
Yeah.
using you to make maps for surveillance tech. You don't have to
Exactly.
hide anymore, dude. You don't have to hide. You just got to do it out and proud, you know? You can
Yeah,
be
literally. Now you mentioned
building
Pokemon Go, and now I have to
and
open the app
make
and
those
see
maps
what's
for them,
behind.
girl. Make those maps so they can surveil us and
Sorry.
increase the accuracy of flock cameras. Like, who's flock? That's not the FBI or NSA, bitch. That's some fucking guy. That's some
Yeah.
fucking guy, man. That's what I'm saying. They could just do it now.
Yeah, just in Roblox, destroy the flock cameras by shooting them with your 3D printed gun, hypothetically, in a comic book, and nothing will happen.
And exactly. I heard in this book I read that was fiction, there's like at least $300 worth of precious metals in flock cameras
Dude,
in the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah, I saw a fanfic saying that if you see someone like robbing a flock camera for its precious metals, you say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. In Westeros, they're saying this.
Yeah, yeah. It's a Game of Thrones plot. You wouldn't get it
Yeah,
unless
you
you've read the
guys
books.
didn't read the fucking books. You like
It's
missed that
actually in
whole
George
whole-
R.R. Martin's last book.
Yeah, and you guys aren't fucking
Yeah.
reading it, so you're missing
Yeah.
it. You guys
Green
aren't.
lasers. Green lasers are what will burn those out.
Yeah, there's
So,
some sort of
I mean,
like
dragon's breath.
there's like some sort of like dragon tech saw blade that people are recommending that you get.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, and they say like that's really good for defeating
Yeah.
White Walkers. So,
Yeah.
anywho's,
Mhm.
let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay, bye. Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, wait. Wait. The CIA is gonna
All
get
right,
me
we'll wait.
now.
We'll wait.
The CIA is gonna get me now, dude.
Yeah. Little
I
red
was-
dot on your forehead.
That's why I felt the heart attack gun fucking coming at
Yeah.
me. I started to be like, my arm hurts, bro. Um, you can find things that are cooler than the CIA heart attack gun in our bios. We're at Go to Hell Podcast. I'm at Noel Fain. That's at Sith Lord. In our bios is a link to a link tree, and that link tree can bring you to our Patreon. Dollar gets you in crazy NDA episode this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy, but have fun. You know what I mean? That's what we're all here to do because we ain't got much time left. So we're having fun with what we have. You can also find a link to Kelly Halloran or at Wildwood Owl on Etsy. She makes cool shit for us. She makes cool shit in general. She makes our fucking merch, which 100% of proceeds are donated. Also, she was out and fucking about. Did you see that shit? Kelly was
Yeah,
out and about hitting fucking feet to the pavement, selling her art, and I think that's
she's
so
so
fucking
fucking
cool.
cool, dude.
So cool.
She's like got her stuff up in brick and mortar stores now.
Yes, dude.
Literal artiste.
Also, my Michigan divas, my Michigan divas, you know who to vote for, okay?
Yeah.
You know who to vote for. You know
Don't
who
let us
not.
down.
That's what, and
Don't
that's
let
all.
Kelly down. She's the people's princess.
I know that Kelly's doing the right thing, and I need everyone else in Michigan to vote correctly so she can live a happy life.
Yeah.
Okay?
If you don't, I'll kill myself.
I really will. So that's all I'll say about that. Look into the race yourself. There's one candidate who says, I dream of Israel. And then there's another candidate who says, I want to make sure everyone can afford housing and food and water. And so you decide, who
Hmm.
do you
Hmm.
dream of? And what dream do you want for Kelly? I want Kelly to be able to afford house and home and water and food and to thrive. So I know who I would vote for if I was in Michigan. So just
Don't fuck
like,
it up, Michigan.
don't fuck it up. Anyway, in the link tree in our bio, you can also find a link to our Discord server. God, we've got to check that again. God, we've got to
Yeah,
check that again.
I
I'll
know.
say, I'll say, hey everyone in Michigan, how's it going? You guys doing any fucking door-to-door knocking? Are you doing any phone banks? How's it going? What are we doing out there? So maybe I'll do that. You can also find a link to our YouTube where you can go and bully us in the comments, which I love because we're not getting monetized over there. So just, again, we
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
whatever.
much time, so have fun with what you have, which is bullying us in the comments. And I don't know why you'd need it, but a place to listen to us, which is anywhere podcasts are heard. Um,
Nice. Now let's get the fuck out of here.
well, no,
Oh,
now
we
I
gotta hail
now
something.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember now. I'm going to give both a hail and a retracted hail. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give a hail to Invisalign because
Mhm.
I love my Invisalign. I'm in the final stage. I feel so good about my teeth. I'm like loving it. The Invisalign has also made me like more of an avid flosser, which sounds gross, but I know y'all motherfuckers ain't flossing like you should. I floss like all the time. I carry
Yeah, I've
flossers.
seen you.
You've
I
seen
saw you
me.
flossing while I was talking.
Yes,
So,
I stay on my floss, dude. I
yep.
love it. And like, I'm not even fucking with you guys. I haven't even been doing whitening strips or anything because I have like the brackets on my teeth. My teeth are already whiter because of just the amount of like taking care of them that I'm doing because I have the Invisalign. So it's just like
Yeah.
so awesome. And then my retracted hail is that we don't dental insurance is a fucking 2% off coupon, and especially if it's ortho, you could have full dental insurance and then it doesn't even cover ortho. And so now dental offices, much like a veterinary office, are being like, "Oh no, you could die. You can't afford this, but you have to pay it. Take a fucking small loan out with your bank to afford this," which is what I had to do to get my Invisalign. And I knew this was my time to shine because I had a tooth that was getting ready to do a 360. It was already at a 180. I had to do it was going to do a 360 if I did not intervene medically. And it would only get worse
Hmm.
with time.
Hmm.
I already have gum recession. What am I going to do? So, and I fucking hate that. I hate that I have a small loan with a bank because I took care of orthodontic care.
And
So,
I'm gonna say, hail to Beatrice getting kicked off of Love Island because she always wore her Invisalign and it was distracting on camera.
I also heard that she never took it out when she like made out with
Never.
people.
That whole time I was like seeing you talk and appreciating what you were saying, but also with that in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, she never took it out, even when she kissed people.
Dude, look what I've got in my hand, my Invisalign, because I know not to wear it when we record.
Yeah.
Share.
You
True.
do it right. All right.
Okay, now let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. Bye.
Bye.